Namaste Bharat. I am Duvuri Vatsalendra, Senior Lawyer, High Court of Telangana. Many people do not know that the courts function as per jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is a state, town, cities, countries, or any piece of land which is bounded by certain boundaries, within which a act or transaction or even an exchange of contract or an establishment of companies, organizations stay within those limits. This is what is called jurisdiction. For the purpose of filing of cases and the litigants, there should not be a commotion of everybody rushing to the same court. Sometimes people look at the flexibility of the courts within their reach and want to file the cases in that particular courts or areas. This cannot be encouraged, and the courts located within that area or the jurisdiction, as explained by me, will be congested, and none of the cases or litigation will be ever dissolved. It will also be difficult for the operating administrative units and their function being very unable to execute and do all the numbering and the proceedings to be held for the courts will be difficult. As such, jurisdiction is a very, very important aspect of law. Common man usually does not know what jurisdiction means. Now, if I stay within the limits of Hyderabad and my property lies in Hyderabad, I shall be entitled to file litigations with related to my properties or my matrimonial disputes or any other contract or partnership or anything that I must have done within the city limits of Hyderabad to be filed into the courts of the city limits, which is called territorial jurisdiction. This applies to not only state, district, or towns, it also exists within the intercontinental or the countries within the neighborhood. Now, there will be many disputes which will arise out of intercontinental or with neighboring countries of having their contracts, their business, and etc., the dealings of international market or the contracts, wherein the parties specifically name in their agreements where the dispute shall lie or arbitration. I'll discuss about arbitration much later because it is too premature for me to discuss in this jurisdiction case. However, in certain special circumstances like matrimonial matters, more specifically, the jurisdiction lies where the husband and wife must have resided last together, or the place of marriage, or where the wife is residing, or her parental house. This is an exception for matrimonial disputes. Even otherwise, at times there will be transactions which must have taken place at Hyderabad and the company must have been located at Andhra, or say Andhra state now presently. In such situations and circumstances, the disputes can be encouraged and entertained as per the agreement and the stipulation, or anything that must have been discussed in the agreements will lie to that particular territorial jurisdiction. Now, once again, let me be very clear about jurisdiction. The jurisdiction is something which has to be within the boundaries of a particular area, wherein the disputes have to be encouraged between the parties in that particular area, and the courts shall entertain such disputes wherein the disputes have arisen within the territorial jurisdiction. In case a fraudulent document is filed showing the territorial jurisdiction by one of the parties, the other contesting party or the litigant can challenge that this particular court does not have jurisdiction to entertain such case, because the document itself is a sham document and does not relate it to that particular area or jurisdiction. As I say, jurisdiction is the limits of an area, country, state, district, more specifically, and sensibly differs when it comes to matrimonial matters or contractual obligations. Intercontinental is the choice of the client where the litigation has to be filed as per the agreement, document, or the contract that arises. However, if it is related to a country, state for which an execution of public interest, of national problems or national calamities, it is only the central government of both the countries will decide the jurisdiction, where it is the International Court of Justice. Hope this makes it very clear about jurisdiction. Namaste. Namaste, Bharat.